Now we are going to hear from the one and only Noor Pervez, a queer and non-binary Muslim organizer and activist and the director of accessibility at Masjid Al Rabia, about his reflections on Eid and about queerness in Islam.
Thank you so much, Faroza. Hi, everyone. My name is Noor. I use he and him pronouns. I apologize for video not being on. And as you might imagine, based on the job title, I do have a disability, and at times I can get quite sick. And unfortunately, this is one of those days. And one of the things that I've been thinking about and wanted to share with the community is that as we kind of approach a new wave of opening during the pandemic, at least in the US, I'm thinking a lot about accessibility, and I'm thinking a lot about the intersection of people who are more than one thing. Particularly, I'm thinking of those members of our community that have disabilities, some of whom are aunties and uncles as they're getting older, but some of whom are like me, who might be in their 20s or their 30s and already have chronic illnesses or immunodeficiencies or other things going on. Before the pandemic, there wasn't so much an effort for people who had disabilities, who might have been homebound or who had other restrictions that prevented them from entering public events, into pushing us into the community, into welcoming us and talking to us. And the pandemic really opened the door for a lot of people who would have been left behind to be able to enter and join and have spaces that previously had been denied to us. And when I think about that, that makes me wonder about community accountability, and that makes me wonder about who we're leaving behind and whose voices are out of the picture. As Kandil so eloquently put it, Ramadan and Eid are both times for us to hit the reset button and to change the way that we think about ourselves and each other, and to think about the ways that we can better serve our community in subservience to Allah. And I think that it can be tempting to think that as a community made of multiply marginalized people who are taking care of multiply marginalized people, that we're already doing all the work. And I don't think that's ever really the case. There's not an end. It's just this endless cycle of pulling in who is left at the edges and censoring their voices and bringing them to the forefront, with the understanding that it is our choice actively and always who we leave behind. But it is also our choice who we choose to bring in and who we choose to celebrate. And with that depressing note, love all of you. Back to Faroza.
That was not depressing at all. Thank you for those beautiful reflections, Noor.